Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the Supremely Enlightened One. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So, now friends, we are learning several Dhamma discourses from the Sutta Pitaka. And I started also to teach the Majjhima Nikaya, or we can study together also. But today, I will skip the Majjhima Nikaya. I'm ready to, but I wanted to go a little bit further. So I haven't read in a couple of things. So I wanted to skip that today. I will teach you, or I will discuss with you, a very simple. We have done this sutta for I think a couple of times, but still it is very important, and it's very beautiful also to think, investigate, and try to find this in our early life. Okay, this sutta is called Sārandadasutta. Sārandadasutta. That is from Numerical Discourses, book of 5. So the Sārandadasutta, it's very beautiful, very simple, but it has a deep meaning in it. This sutta has a five great things that people think, which is very rare in this world, that is talked about. And in the Supreme Buddha's dispensation also, there are 5 great things, which is very rare, but very important. These are the gems that we can find. And those we needed to practice Dhamma or stay in Dhamma life. This sutta began like this. Evang me sutang, ekang samayang bhagava, vesalyang viharati mahavani kutagara salaya. On one time, on one occasion, that Blessed One was staying in Vaishali city at the great wood in the hall with the big roof, so which is completely made with the wood chamber, and Buddha was staying there. Atako bhagava pubbana samayam nivasitva pattachivara madaya vesahyam pindaya pavisi. At early in the morning, after the sun has risen, in that time, Supreme Buddha took his bowl and his robe, and he went for the alms round in the city. Today, we find these things is happening only in 3 countries, like in Sri Lanka, where the monks go for alms round, in Thailand, and in Burma, there are still practice of alms round early in the morning. But in the rest of the world, alms round means going to bake the food. It is very difficult, and early in the morning, it is very difficult for even in India also. Like mostly this now the cities, they wake up after 6 or 7 o'clock, and then they prepare the food very late. So it is not possible at morning. But in Buddha's time, mostly people, they wake up early in the morning, and the farming work, they begin at dawn also. So That's why they prepare the food and everything, and that it was easier for monks to go for the alms round in early in the morning. So the Buddha did the same thing. Um, he take his vow, robe, and he entered in the Vesali for the asking for food or looking for food. Tena kopana samayena panchamattanam lichavi satanam Sārandade chetiye sannisinnanam sannipatitanam ayamantara katha utapadi. On that time, there was a clan called Lichavi in the Vesali, the Lichavi clan. This clergyman, they gathered together in number of 500, and they were at the Sārandada shrine, means the stupas which is built. It's not just after the Buddha also, but earlier there were a couple of stupas, or maybe for the reverent, or maybe for the symbolic way. So this Sārandada shrine, these 500 lichavis were gathered early in the morning, and in between them, this kind of conversation has started that Panchanang Ratananang Patu Bhavo Dullabo Lokasmin. The appearance of 5 treasures or 5 rare gems or rare in this world. Okay, these gems are very rare. These treasures are very rare in this world to be found. And what 5? They said, Hatti Ratanasta Patu Bhavo Dullabo Lokasmi, the elephant treasure. You know, the Hatti Ratana, the elephant, which is a special kind of, not every elephant you can count in that. Not that every kingdom has this also. Hatti Ratana, the 7 gems which is born when the Bodhisattva appears, who's going to become a Viltanian monarch. For him, there are 7 gems is mentioned. In that, it is mentioned the Hatti Ratana. It is kind of the divine one. Like every herd or every elephant's one herd has a one king. But this Hasti Ratana, wherever he goes, he is worshipped by all the elephants in that way. He has a psychic powers. He can walk very fast. He can conquer the places like he want to go. Means it is not a common walk for him. Means in a kind of divine. You know, he's very steady. If he go to the battle, he doesn't need much teaching, but he always protect who is there. So in that way, such an elephant finding, it's very rare in this world. That is called Hatti Ratana. So this Lichavi clan, they were prince, they were ruling the kingdom. So that's why they have this intention. Okay, the elephant is very rare to find in something like this. And in that time, people get very offensive when they do not treat this treasure elephant in their kingdom. We find this one thing in Jataka tells in the Buddhist in the Bodhisattva's time before the Buddhahood. Bodhisattva born as a in the last Jataka with Sansara. In that time, when he is a prince, what he do? He gives his a treasure elephant where there is a dry out, because it is mentioned wherever this elephant goes, the rain and food, crops, everything flourish. So that was it was a worldly saying. So when the prince offered it, donated it, this elephant to the other kingdom, in the whole city got offended by that. How can prince give such an elephant, this is such a treasure to others, you know? So that's why it mentioned Hatti Ratana, this elephant treasure. It is a very rare in this world. Second one say, Asa Ratanas Patu Bhavo Dullabo Lokasmi. The horse treasure, appearance of horse, which is like the king of all the horses, mares or something, you know, the best kind of horse. Even today also, means people try to wherever the golf course are or the wherever the ranches are, in there what they find or the best quality horse they needed, and which is very, very expensive. Like people can buy a couple of cars, or very expensive cars for the one horse, such a thing. So it is very rare to find such a horse in this world. When in the Buddha's time, when it is mentioned, that time, finding such a horse is more rare because it was for specially bred for the king or has a divine power, like in our Buddha's time before he left his home to become a monk. That time his horse was called Kantaka, and he was very strong, very rare horse. When the Bodhisattva was leaving his home evening at night, in that time the doors were all closed. So the horse, he also think that keeping the prince on his back and the caretaker Channa, I will cross this wall by one jump. So for the horse inside in the city palace to climbing on the or going beyond the wall in one jump, it is very rare. No one can see today, So such a strength, such a stamina, such a power this horse possesses. And that's why this Lichavi said, okay, finding such a horse is very treasure. This is very rare to appear such a horse in this world. If in Buddha's time that is much rare, then today we have lost a lot of great things. And today, definitely it's the rarest one. Then Maniratnas Patubhava Dullabho Lokasmi. Finding the treasure, jewel treasure. The jewel, it's a kind of the rarest things, like not the greatest carat. Means today we can artificially create one, and that is more pure than original, but still earlier time, the diamonds, like for India, the Kohinoor, which is in the crown of king's crown. So that was the rare things that we can find. In the same way, there are the jewel, which is become a symbol of king or become a symbol of kingdom. Such a jewel finding, it is very rare in this world. That is mentioned. So they are also said such a jewel is very rare to be appear or to be found in this world. Then the woman treasure. Itti ratanastapatu bhavo dullabho lokasmi. Finding a woman who is completely, means whatever the aspect the person has, she's with that. These are the prince, and always it is found that okay, finding queen or being having those things, it is mentioned. So that's why they said Itti Ratana. In the suttas, it is mentioned how the Itti Ratana is very rare. It is not a common woman, but who is born with a great merit, and who will complete the path, means to purest one, rarest one in that way. And that's why finding such a woman, because everyone has a problems. Men also have, the women also have, and finding someone who can help to grow, help to support the person. Such a woman is very rare and faithful. So that's why they are saying the Itti Ratana Sapatu Bhava Dullabhu. Then the last one they said, and the householder treasure, the Gahapati Ratana Sapatu Bhava Dullabhu Lokasmi. The householder treasure, it is like in every society, there are some people become a pillar of that society. They hold the burden of that society by the wealth, by the cultural thing. We find out that in history, there are a couple of people who started some rituals And those rituals are still running in the society. Why is that? Because these people were such a great men that they have molded the society in that direction. We find out today. Today we can simply say the politicians, but they are not virtuous. This householder is a virtuous person. In the for the Wiltern monarch, when they say this householder, the Gahapati Ratana, as soon as the Wiltern monarch get the Chakra Ratana, the will appears for him in that day. This Gahapati Ratana gets a divine eye. He is able to find all the hidden treasure which belongs to people and which is not. He knows every bit of coin. So he is like a bookkeeper for all the wealth in the kingdom. And he comes to the king and he said, King, this is the treasure and that it is here for you. Utilize it for the welfare of the society. And he gives that all the things. So though there is no corruption in that. Such a householder finding in this the world, it is very rare. These are the prince, they are talking about their kingdom. And that's why such a conversation, such a talk they had in that time. They said, Ime sang panchanang ratananang patu bhavo dullabho lokasmi. The appearance of these 5 treasures is rare in this world. Atakote lichavi magi purisang tapisum. So then those lichavis sent a man out on the road saying that Yadatvang ambo purisa paseyasi bhagavantang athammakang arocheyasiti. Master, please tell us when you see the Buddha. So what they did, when these 500 people had gathered together, and one of the person who works there, they sent that person to the outside, because they know, and this early in the morning, the Buddha also will come out for the alms round, and they know that Buddha is staying in this Vaishali. So we will get the chance to meet him while they are conversing inside the shrine or in the Sārandadasutta. It may be have the very huge boundary also, and that's why they send a one man outside. As soon as you see the Buddha, please let us know that Buddha is here. So this person was staying. Adasakho so puriso bhagavantang durato agachan. This man who was outside looking for the Buddha, he saw that Blessed One is coming toward this direction, and he saw from the very far distance. As soon as he went to the Lichavis, and then he said, masters, or that I have seen that Buddha is coming to this direction. Yasadani kalang manyata. Then whatever, please go and do what you feel suitable. Means he doesn't know that what these people wanted to do. So whatever the suitable thing is that you want to just worship, you want to show the courtesy, you want to offer something, you want to invite, whatever is it you require, you can do that. So atakhote lichavi yena bhagava tenupa sankami. So when the Buddha was walking there, this lichavi left the shrine, and then they come outside of that Sārandadasutta boundary, and then they come where the Buddha was at that moment. Upasankamitva bhagavantang abhivaditva ekamantang attansum. So Buddha was standing. So these all people, they worship Supreme Buddha, bow down to him, and then they stood one side. Ekamantang chitakhote lichavi bhagavantang etada vochum. So, and all together in the one person of that, they said to the Supreme Buddha, Sadhu Bhante yena Sārandadang chetiyang upasankamatum anukampang upadayati. Please, Bhante, please come into the Sārandada sanctuary or shrine room with the compassion toward us. It will be very great if the Buddha visit us there. So by saying silent, Supreme Buddha, accept their request, and he went to the Sāranda, inside the boundary, or in the Sārandadasutta or shrine. Buddha went up, and then it is very great in that time period. Wherever the Buddha goes, whenever they are, the people, they always keep a one cushion or one asana or one bench which is suitable, or one seat. They keep it for the Buddha. So Buddha saw this seat is for him, and then he sat on the seat and said to the Lichavis this, like when the Buddha came, Buddha knows that these people gathered here, so it must be some of the reason, that it may be a 9 o'clock something in that moment. So they are gathered together. It must be certain reason. So Supreme Buddha simply asked him, Kayanutta Lichavi etarahi kathaya sannisinna kachapanavo antara katha vipakatati. Lichavis, before I came here, or what was the your conversation happening when you gather all together? What kind of conversation you left in between? So they said, they told everything together. One day we gather here, and when we were discussing about these 5 rare treasures in this world, and then we come to this conclusion that these are the 5 rare treasures. What? The elephant treasure, then the horse treasure, then the jewel treasure, then the women treasure, the householder treasure. So these are the 5 great treasures, are very rare to appear in this world. So they discuss. Buddha was he simply said, Kamadi muttanang vatabo lichavinang kamang yeva arabha antara katha udapadi. Lichavis, you are so fixated on the sensual pleasure. That's the only discussion that comes up. See, isn't it a common thing? Like today also, means now, if we go to our friend's house, what we will talk? We will not talk about something else. We will talk about the pleasure what we have. How's the life? How's enjoyment? How is your parties? These are the conversation. Is your daughter married? Your son is he's going to marry. What kind of work they do? These things. Then the planning will be, okay, the 31st is coming now, and we're going to come together, or discussion about the barbecue, this kind of vacations. These are the things we talk to each other. We don't talk about, okay, the world in the hunger, let's finish this. No. Whatever the sensual pleasure we are enjoying, we discuss according to that. Okay, if you are a practitioner of meditation, and you know the another person who is you are conversing with, he's also, and for the bit of second, or for the moment, the conversation of that will be happen too. If you are practitioners of path, Dhamma practice, then there is a chances that you will discuss upon that too. But it will happen rarely. Rarely. Even in the monastery, like you see, many of you go to visit the monastery. Apart from Bhante is teaching the Dhamma, apart from that you are having a little bit conversation, what kind of conversation do you think arise in the monastery? This is the worldly conversation we do in the monastery also, isn't it? Means you visit, you know very well that what people talked about. Some of the time we talk about the food, or this food, oh, last week's one was good one, or this one, or something like this. That is the thing, because this is a pleasure of tongue. It is there, that we discuss. Or we discuss about the further programs. Even in the monastery, we try to find out, okay, where I can enjoy myself. That's the why? Because our life is fixated on the sensual pleasure. Prince? they are born in that. They are the ruling kingdom. So they were definitely. So that's why they had this thing. Okay, let me talk about that. Okay, these are the sensual things that we can find. And that discussion was there. Buddha did not say it is wrong. Buddha did not say that you should not communicate like this. As a society, there are certain good things or that is happening. Like now you're going to collect the winter clothings, you know. Uh, I also doing same thing. Here also, I also collect and I also offer it every December. We do every year. Like our ratio is very small one, but we do. So whoever the people come together, most of time offering to the monks, that is not only thing that in their mind. So these are the social beings also, and they have compassion toward others. So time to time, this conversation also starts in the monastery. Okay, let's do the social services. How? So offering to clothes, that is one. Let's have the blood donation drive. That is the one. Let's offer the food to the needy people. That is one. For what? So we can enjoy ourselves. We can have this pleasure in our mind, maybe for the peace for the moment. But our most of the conversation happens on the sensual pleasure, which is beautiful, can be seen by eyes. What is the good sound? Hear by our ears. What is the best taste? Smell by our nose. What is a good odor? And what is the best stage? Uh, taste, which is tasted by our tongue, and the feeling. What is the touch or tangibles is great. We discuss upon these things. So Buddha said simple thing. And then Buddha gave the beautiful explanation, Dhamma talk, to them, which is very helpful for you and me. What the Buddha says, Panchanang lichavi ratananam patu bhavu dullabu lokasmi. Lichavis, appearance of five treasures is rare in this world, Buddha says. So same words, they also said about five treasure, and Buddha is also about talking about five treasure. But it has a huge difference in two treasures. They are talking about worldly thing. Buddha is talking beyond the world, which is very rare and very important for us. What the Buddha says, Tathagatas Arahato Samma Sambuddhas Patu Bhavo Dullabo Lokasmi. The first treasure is rare to appear in this world. That the realized one, the perfect one, the fully awakened, the blessed one, the Supreme Buddha's appearance in this world is rare. Why the Buddha's birth is very rare? Today, we see in this 60 years of life, we say, oh, it's a very huge life. Or some of the time we say, it's very short, you know. But some of the time, living the whole life, it becomes also difficult. And Buddha says, such a lives go for the countless of time, then the one eon is complete. And in the last 100 eons, there are only 7 Buddhas. In the 100 eons, and thinks about how many times you and me have born in this world. Countless of time. Even if we get the psychic power to visit our previous lives, there may be more chances that we haven't seen these 7 Buddhas. But we have born a million trillions of time. And still in the journey of samsara, being born, aging, sickness, death, departing from our beloved people, associating with the evil people, whatever we don't want, whatever we want, we are not getting it. By these things, in common things, we are suffering. Not there is a very rare people. They said, I am satisfied what I have. Everyone is wanting something else. And that is the journey of life. In this samsara, to find escaping from these worldly things, to be spiritual, to follow the path of enlightenment, it is very rare thing. And that happens when the Buddha appears in this world. And in this 100 eons, there are only 7 Buddhas. First Buddha appears, Vipassi Buddha, and then 20 eons or 30 eons or 40 eons, or no Buddhas. Whoever have the help of that Buddha, they may have gone in the good places, but most of the people suffered. Then the time came in the same era, the 2 Buddhas born. But after that, the 40 years of 40 eons of the empty, nothing was there. 40 or 60 something, you can count it there. So empty, no Buddhas after that. And now this is the only eon that we find, which is the most blessed one, that the 5 Buddhas is going to appear. 4 is already here and 1 is to remain. But it is very rare for him to be born in this world. So we cannot take granted, okay, the next Buddha, when he appears, I will be there and learn Dhamma. No. Millions of times we born, and there is a very rare chances that we have seen the previous Buddha. How can we hope that next one we will see? That's why we should practice Dhamma, so we can escape from this harsh journey of samsara. Because today we have found the Buddha's path, which is pure and which is still practicable. So this is the first thing. Second thing Buddha mentioned, Tathagatappa veditas dhamma vinayasa deseta puggalo dullabho lokasmi. The teacher of the teaching and the training proclaimed by the Blessed One or realized one. Supreme Buddha, what he understands, that Dhamma explaining by others. Buddha is himself explains, but today we are here. Today there is no word, means we are speaking the words of Buddha. That is his realization. But the teacher who teaches authentic Buddha's teaching, that is very rare in this world. Very rare. Like all over the world, you will find very few people. You can count them. These are the people who teaches the Supreme Buddha's teaching. Most of the time, what happened? By the name of the Buddha, people build different stories. Like if you take the YouTube shorts or Insta, you see the reels. By the name of Buddhas, many things they are saying, which is not related in the Buddhism also. But with a very calm, charming, peaceful voice, when they speak, what we feel? Oh, this is the great thing the Buddha explains. No. That is very difficult to find what the true words of Buddha. In the past time also, like there is a Mahayana call concept appears. What is it for? What I think means the person they were proclaimed by, who they did, they said, what I think, that is the great thing. It is not reaching us to the enlightenment, but it is very important. Who will listen to my words? No one will listen. But if I say, this is the word of Buddha, then everyone will listen. And I will be the great teacher. So they mix up a lot of things which is not taught by Buddha, which is not, means his enlightenment is for enlightenment. These things doesn't take there, even though people say these are the words of Buddha. And many people who doesn't know, they follow these teachers. So what the Buddha says, Deseta Puggalo Dullabho, who teach the Supreme Buddha's teaching, the truth, the authentic one, which is come from directly from the suttas, such a person is very rare. Like tomorrow, if I started to teach my own thing, oh, now I'm 10 years old or as a monk, or 15 years I have spent in Dharma. Now I have a lot of realization. Listen to me, this is my advice or this is my thing. Then the purpose will defeat it. It will be my words, but I'm wearing the robe and I'm teaching by word of Buddha. Cannot happen that. So the person who teach, like our teacher, our Kalyan Mittal, Lokaswami Mahansa, before he appeared in this world, before he came to the teach the Dhamma, in Sri Lanka there were a lot of misbeliefs. There were a couple of good teachers also at that time also, but there were a lot of misbeliefs. What kind of misbeliefs they have? Okay, today you cannot realize Dhamma. You can only do the good things. After finishing this life, you go to the heavenly world. And when the Maitreya Buddha came, the next Buddha will complete your Dhamma path in that time. Because today's Buddha's Dhamma is dead. Such a conversation happened in the time. But our teacher, he read the books. He said, no, nothing in the book says something like that. If the teaching is still alive, people can realize Dhamma today also. And what he did, he simply, with very simple language, he translated the Buddha's doctrine and circulated all over the Sri Lanka. And the effect of that, you won't believe it. When the Buddha, when our teacher, when the Lokaswami Mahansa started the monastery, 18 years, 20 years, 25 years, 28, 30 years of these young people, they left their home and they said, this is the time that I can practice now. Now these young people are like 50, 60, 70 years aged. They are still practicing Dhamma. That the rare thing happened. Rare thing happened. Several monasteries, they rose up because of such a person appears. Several people got help because of this teacher. That's why the Buddha says, the teacher is very rare who teach the Dhamma which is proclaimed by Supreme Buddha. If we find such a master, treasure it, hold it. Whatever happens, he may favor you, he may not. Don't lose him. Because he is a teacher who speaks the words of Buddha. He is the one who guides us time to time. So, such a person is very rare. And that realizing such a rarity, it is very important. Third thing Buddha explained, Tathagatapa Vedidasa Dhamma Vinayasa Desidasa Vinyata Puggalo Dullabho Lokasmi. The person who understands his teaching. There are several things is explained in this world, and a lot of things is explained by a lot of people. People just say that, yes, I understand. But truly understanding that is very difficult thing. Like a Buddha says, practice a generosity or develop the, strive in the Dhamma, don't be lazy to strive. And Buddha gave the simile of that. What? If someone's on the head, there is a fire, the person caught the fire, and as he take the effort to remove that fire, extinguish that fire, in such a hurry, such a strength, that we have to practice the Dhamma. Are we? Not myself, not yet. We cannot say, but we can practice to be such a person like that. So that's why Buddha says, who understand the teaching of Dhamma, understands. That is very difficult person. That is very rare person. That is the rare treasure who can understand the Supreme Buddha's teaching. If you are, then you are one of the gems. You are one of the treasure. Then Further, one Supreme Buddha says, Tathagatapa Vedis Dhamma Vinayasa Desitas Vinyata Dhammanudhamma Patipanno Puggalo Dullavo Lokasmi. Okay, here it comes like the person who understands, that is the rare one, but the rarest one in that who practice this teaching in this very life. Like we learn a lot of things. Like every week we gather here, we practice meditation, we learn of the suttas also. And then what happened? Whole week, some of us try to do that, some of us, okay, we will see, we will skip. Next week we will do that same thing and we will learn. We take pleasure in listening Dhamma also. We take pleasure. We take pleasure in having part of such a society. We take pleasure. But practicing that Dhamma, it is a difficult thing. It is a difficult thing. And when we do that difficult thing, lot of problems occur, lot of difficulties comes, and then the teacher, the need of teacher we feel, okay, let me go to monastery and ask Bhantes, what should I do or not? How can I overcome this problem in Dhamma practice? Very few people have that tendency. That's why Buddha says, it is not mine word. Here it mentioned, the practitioner, the understood person of the person who understands the Buddha's Dhamma, practicing that thing, it is very rare. Practitioner it's very rare. He's a treasure in this world. And the last one, you can say, if this quality someone possesses, he can gain other qualities very easily. This quality if someone possesses, then he can always have the shelter or always have the help of noble friend. Always he will have. And that is one that we can develop in this very life. Which one? The person Katanyu Katavedi Puggalo Dullabo Lokasmi. Katanyu. If someone has a deeded service for you, someone has helped you. So remembering his service means showing the gratitude or being a grateful and being thankful. Katavedi, remembering always, oh, this person has helped me. This person has helped me. Remembering time to time, yes. So whatever the good or bad thing happens, we may fought with each other, but still we should remember. Like, yeah, in the monastery, like here also, we gather together all the time. We all have a different beliefs. For the Dhamma, we may be one. But for our way of looking at generosity, having the conversation, our way of wearing the clothes, our identity of who is beautiful, handsome, in that way, our views are different. The wealth, it is different. Our living standard, it is different. So our food of taste, it may be different. So when these people come together, what will happen? That will happen that we will discuss with each other. Okay, this is good, this is not. And we may have a little bit quarrel in that. Always this person put his will on us. Why should we listen? That happens in monastery, and that's why a lot of people lose the contact. If the monk said, okay, most of time we come for enjoyment, we find it at the beginning stage, we try to find the peace, but when we get very ease with the practice, we ease with the monastery, we behave like we shouldn't. What happened then? Monks or some of the devotees, they say, okay, Upasaka, Upasika, do not try to behave this. It is not good for here. For once in a while, it's okay. You can laugh, you can do these things, but not always. You can ask the questions, but it is not always good to interrupt. You have a time, you can do this. Such a thing, such a small gesture as the monks mentioned, or such a small things, the devotees ask, and this person says, why is such a thing happening to me? It's not good. I will leave the monastery. I'm not going to come. I was remembering one of our friend, you know, and uh, I remember a couple of people for a long, long time, and such a things happened, and that's why he stopped to come. So what happened? The gratefulness, being thankful, we have forgot it. Person when enters the monastery, person when it comes, it is our tendency to offer him the food first, have the good conversation, talk with them, and then try to make them part of our life. When that happened, that is the great service that we provide. If the person is very thankful, so that person accept, okay, I should not lash out, I should not say, you know, like our father, whole life from the young age, when we are unable to walk, from that our infancy, our father is feeding the food to us. We see the mother, but behind her, the father is there. Mother who take care of us. Okay. But the Western society has created now that as soon as you become 18 or 20, just leave the home and don't come back. These old people, they will find themselves, they will do their own. That thing happens. So the society has built that we should not be thankful for them. We should not be grateful for them. In India, still, there is still some couple of people who take care of their mother and father for until they are departed. Such a thing. So remembering someone's great service toward us, remembering, being thankful for their duties, that is the rare quality we find in this world. Maybe our world, maybe our verbal dispute can be there. Our way of thinking can be different, but we should not forget who has helped us. The best example is about Sariputta. Best example in the Buddha's time. There was one Brahmin who come to visit. Um, he was very stingy. He was, he lash out on the monks. These young monks, they don't work, they don't do. They beg for food. They say, we are working for them, something like that. Such a mind he had. And he may have some bitter experience of others that may be caused. So the Sariputta Bhante always visit in front of his home and stops for if he gave the food. Always he says some bad words or doesn't talk. One day, simply he saw for a long time Sariputta Bhante is coming. Simply said, Sramana, there is no food today. Please go forward. Or he may have shown the path. Okay, the further home he's prepared, he will offer it to you. That's the simple thing. That's the kindest word this Brahmin have taught. When a time came, this Brahmin wanted to become a monk. Heart can change. The mind can change, So he came to Buddha and he said, Bhante, I want to become a monk. Until now, he was opposed of the community, but now he wanted. The Buddha asked from the community of monks, does anyone remember that this Brahmin have helped someone? No one is there to remember. Why? Because he was lash out, he was saying bad words. How can? Because in the community, in the Sangha, people needed who can come together. They can practice together. They can thrive together. They can be help of each other for the Dhamma practice, for the running the monastery, the community or chores, everything. We need each other. But if we have the tendency, okay, I will do my own, then it is difficult to stay together. So the Buddha asked, if anyone remembers, Sariputta Bhante was saying, yes, I remember. He has done me one service and I remember that. Buddha says, you are the worthy to ordain him, make him your pupil. So he did. That is the great thing you find. Remember the person who is grateful and thankful. It is the rarest treasure you will find. if you found such a person, you should treasure that person. Then you should try to become that treasure. If you are, then as the Buddha says, these 5 gems are rare in this world. You will be one of them. And the help of last one, that wherever you go in this samsara, wherever you go in this world, you will always find noble friendship. Always you will find noble friendship because of you are grateful and thankful. So these 5 treasures are very rare in this world. So remember this. Ime sankho lichavi panchannang ratnanang patu bhavadulda bolokasmi. Lichavi's appearance of these 5 treasures is rare in this world. Okay, so we become try to understand these 5 treasures, absorb it, try to become it, and practice this holy Dhamma. So may this teaching be helpful for all of us to understand the importance of these 5 treasures, and may this Dhamma helpful for all of us to become the treasurous person in this world. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.